So there was this one time I went to the bathroom and this huge clot came out of me. It was like really big, and I'm sorry to say, it actually just looked like, what liver looks like? Yeah, it kind of looked like that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what's that? Hey sis, welcome back to this chat on fibroids. Thank you so much for joining me again. These conversations are so important. I've always just thought that, if my discussing, the journey that I've been on these last couple of years actually could help even just one person, 1,000 ladies, really, I think it would just make me so happy. It would give me fulfillment in my heart and in my soul. And, just to quote the wise Queen Bee, the hearts I have touched will be the proof that I leave, that I made a difference, and this world will see that I was here. That's one of my favorite bee songs, really. And yes, I'm part of the beehive. Yeah, so today I just thought we would get into discussing some symptoms of fibroids. And before we get into it, I think it would be important to note that you will need to get medically diagnosed just because, there's so many ailments that you could have that have the same sort of symptoms. So I would highly advise that even as we share symptoms, even as we share what's going on in our lives, experiences, that it's so cardinal that you go to the doctor and they make the diagnosis that this is what you have. So having said that, fibroids have found that it's really easy, like I said in a previous video, it's really easy to dismiss some of these things as being normal. So a lot of symptoms that you will have, you may brush off, or you may even have already brushed off as, this is what women go through, this is what is normal to us, but it is not. So a lot of the times, and I mean, I'm gonna be giving symptoms that, are sort of textbook symptoms, and also symptoms that I had. So anyway, usually fibroids come with very heavy menstrual periods. It's just out of the norm. You will be needing to, change be it your tampon, your pad, whatever sanitary towel you're using. You'll need to change it, like I would even say maybe even twice in an hour, all those types of things. Prolonged periods as well. So a period that will go over a whole week. Actually, even bleeding in between periods, in between menstrual periods, is a sign, is a symptom of a fibroid. Pressure in your pelvic area where it just feels full and like there's something there. And sometimes when they're growing, it actually even starts to grow as well. A lot of times people, again, dismiss it as having gained a little bit of weight and will be like, oh, no, I just gained some weight, and, we'll leave it. So it's not always normal. It may be that you did, just gain a few kilos, but it's always just safer to just, go and have it checked. Also, pain in your lower back is a symptom of fibroids, and the pain is so bad, it's really, really, really excruciating. So sometimes it's actually almost like your whole waist all around is just in pain, and it's a different kind of pain. I wish I could actually really describe it, but on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most pain, I would even put it at a 9, sometimes even 10. Even clots are a sign of having fibroids, big clots, small clots that come out really during your menses. That's another symptom to look out for. So a couple of years ago, actually way before I even knew that I had fibroids, I used to suffer with a cyst on my left ovary, and it started maybe, I would say perhaps 2013, I started feeling a little bit of discomfort and whatnot. And I went to the doctor, had a scan, and I was told I had a cyst on my left ovary. So I managed it with some antibiotics, and over the years, it kept coming back. You know, I would treat it, have another scan, and they would tell me, no, it's gone away, or it's melted, because it's actually not unusual to have cysts grow around your ovaries at different times of your cycle in the month. It's not, but sometimes they grow abnormally and they become huge, and that was what was happening with me. I found out later that that was connected to a hormonal imbalance I was suffering from, didn't even know. So anyway, I would treat that and it would come back, and I would treat that and come back. Perhaps I should even mention that at some point I even started to ignore it a little bit, because again, and I'm not proud of it. I know a lot of people might even say, no, but why did you just ignore it? But, sometimes when you live with something for so long, it sort of becomes a part of you. And to be honest, I didn't even think, also because I wasn't really educated on the sort of dangers, or what a cyst could be, or if it ruptured, because that becomes very dangerous. If a cyst ruptures, it could be life-threatening. So about 2013, maybe 3-4 years on and off, I was treating that cyst. Kept coming back, it would go away, kept coming back, it would go away. About 4 years after that, my menstrual period started to get a little bit heavier and a lot more painful. And FYI, guys, it's gonna be a bit TMI. I'm going to get into it a little bit to tell you really what it was like for me. So there was this one time I went to the bathroom and this huge clot came out of me. It was like really big, and I'm sorry to say, it actually just looked like, what liver looks like? Yeah, it kind of looked like that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what's that? So that's what sort of triggered my interest in monitoring my situation, sort of. So after that, I was just looking closely to see what was going on, and I started to notice my period got heavier and heavier. It got more painful. My lower back pains were crazy, so crazy. And that was what led me to go to my doctor, go to the first doctor. Sorry, let me not say my doctor. To go to the first doctor that I saw that diagnosed that I had a fibroid. And this was perhaps maybe 3 years ago. And that's how I found out I had fibroids. So most of the textbook symptoms, if you will, I did have. I experienced them to the full. And I would just encourage anybody that is going through that to just go get checked, to just, be open with what you're going through. Don't suffer in silence. There's so many things that you could do. You could catch it early, and it could get treated even early, because early diagnosis would mean early treatment. It wouldn't have to get to the point where you're getting surgery for it. So yeah, I just thought we would go through that quickly, and I hope you could share your stories in the comments. Let's discuss, let's talk about it. So if you have any questions, any challenges that you would like to discuss, please comment in the section below, and let's keep this conversation going. It really could save many lives. So thank you so much for joining me on this video, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.